So welcome to the next vlog. We are officially entering leg 4. I'm going to go ahead and pop on and do my reaction to the drop, and then I'll tell you what I'm reading, and we will go from there.
Welcome to the 4th leg of the Amazing Readathon. And just like athletes from around the world are going to be doing this summer, we are headed to Paris, France. The Olympics are coming back to Paris in 2024, 100 years after the city last hosted the Games. The city is preparing for a spectacular event, with plans to use many of the same venues that were used in 1924. The Eiffel Tower in particular will be a prominent feature of the Games, and the city has ambitious plans to create a sustainable and environmentally friendly Olympics. The 2024 Olympics are sure to be a major event for Paris and for France. The city is already buzzing with excitement, and the Games are expected to attract millions of visitors from around the world. The Olympics are a time of celebration and unity, and Paris is ready to welcome the world with open arms. To get to Paris, you will need to read a book that has won an award. It can be any book competition, it just has to be the winner of that competition. Good luck!
Alrighty, so it is Read an Award winner, and I am tasked with reading for Team Spooky this time. So I went ahead and I looked at the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I found a book that was on my TBR that won a Goodreads Choice Award. So I'm finally going to get around to reading it, and that is The Maid by Nita Prose. Now, I've heard a lot of mixed things about this. I've heard some of the representation isn't super great, so I'm not sure what my enjoyment level is going to be. But I am excited to finally get something off my TBR that's been on my TBR for a long time, is what I'm going to be going with. So I'm going to take this to work with me today. We'll see how much I get read. But yeah, so hi Team Spooky. I'm excited to be reading for you. And as always, I hope I'm helping and not hurting. I never want to hurt people, but that's how the dice rolls. Bree Loki is the only one who knows who's helping and who's not. We're not told. So I'm always going to read like I'm helping. So with this one, I should be getting 658 points according to the Goodreads page amount. So I am going to go ahead and get started and hopefully go through this one fairly quick so that I can get some significant sightseeing done while I'm here. I'm trying to sightsee the same amount for each team on each leg, so I'm hopeful that I can get that done. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get this one read. Okay, so I've officially read the entire first day of this one. It looks like it takes place over a period of days. So I've read all of Monday now. Being in Molly's head can be taxing at times for me. And it seems, I know that some people have said she is autistic, but it's never said on page. And I'm definitely picking up on that vibe as I read it. So yeah, the mystery seems fairly straightforward and not anything too complicated at this point. So I'll be really interested to see how this continues to play out and how it became an award winner. I don't know if it would have won the award because it was Book of the Month, so a lot of people just knew of it that year. I don't know. We'll find out the further I get into this one, but I just wanted to do a quick update before I went back into work so that y'all kind of had a chance to get some of my thoughts. Okay, so I'm still reading The Maid. I am now just getting to Thursday, and the more I read this, the more I'm mad at how Molly's being treated by people. People are taking her innocence and maybe ignorance to situations and, abusing that. They're intentionally using her, and I don't like how that feels. And, people are trying to help her in their own way. They're like, we want you to keep good company, but, she keeps getting attention from the negative people and, you know, the people who are up to nefarious things. And so obviously she likes how that feels, so she spends more time with them. And it's just sad at this point. Like, I feel like this poor woman is just being dragged through the mud for no reason because horrible people around her are taking advantage of her. And I don't like how that feels at all. Like, honestly, I'm not that intrigued with the mystery at this point. I mean, at this point, one of two people did it. And I don't know which it is. It could be either, and I kind of don't care either way because they're both awful human beings. So, and you know, if it's someone out of left field, it's someone out of left field, and that'll be fine. But as of right now, like, I'm not that happy with this book. So, this is kind of my first dud of this readathon, which is kind of sad. I didn't want it to be a dud, but it's kind of feeling like one. So, anyways, I just wanted to update you. I probably won't update you again until I finish, but that's where I'm at. Okay, friends, so I am here because I ended up finishing the Maid by Nita Prose last night. So, I struggled with about 2/3 of this book. I felt like she was being gaslit all over the place and she wasn't being treated well by people who were supposed to be her friends. And yeah, so the last third of this book did a lot to help me enjoy it though. So in the end, this is like a 3.5 for me. I do think Molly was treated awfully and I don't love how that felt. But once she found her people and like literally the people who would like have her back no matter what, it worked out perfectly. And she ends up with a bow by the end, but there was some kind of fishy stuff going on with him. So I'm intrigued to see if that continues or if he really is the precious being he seems to be as things go on. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that goes. I am interested in picking up the Mystery Guest. It's one I'll most likely check out from the library. I don't know that I want to spend my own money on it again. And I don't know if I'll keep this physical copy because I don't know that I would reread this particular one. The very last twist and reveal in the epilogue of this book kind of didn't make things sit well with me. So I ended up having a tough time with that whole situation. And it made Molly look bad, which is why I didn't love it. So with that said, I am happy that I read it. It's been on my TBR for a long time. So it's nice to have something that's been sitting there staring me in the face. I now have my opinion on it, and now I'm going to cut to my sightseeing vlog and take care of things there. Just a reminder, in these vlogs, all of my sightseeing will be in the last vlog that you see, so you don't know how much I'm sightseeing for each team, because that's a way to make it a little fun for me and me not giving away all of my secrets too early. So that's what I did last year. I'm doing it that way again, and with that said, I will see you guys once the 5th leg starts. Okay, friends, so the next leg of the readathon is live, so let's go ahead and react to it together.
Cape Town, a vibrant city located in South Africa, is renowned for its beauty and iconic landmarks. Table Mountain, a flat-topped mountain, is one of the most recognizable and beloved landmarks of the city. It's a popular destination for hiking, with several trails leading up to the summit, offering breathtaking views of the city and surrounding area. Table Mountain is a symbol of Cape Town and a source of pride for its residents. Table Mountain is home to a diverse array of plant species, many of which are endemic to the region. This mountain's unique climate and geology have created a habitat that is ideal for a wide range of plant life. Some of the most iconic plant species found on Table Mountain include the silver tree, the protea, and the dissa. The silver tree is a striking evergreen tree with silvery leaves and white flowers. The protea is a genus of flowering plants that is known for their large, showy flowers. In addition to these iconic species, Table Mountain is also home to a variety of other plant life, including ferns and mosses. The mountain's slopes are covered in a dense moss carpet, a type of vegetation that is unique to the Cape Floral region. It's characterized by its small, leathery leaves and brightly colored flowers. To get to Cape Town, you are going to need to read a book with some sort of nature on the front cover. This can be trees, flowers, sticks, grass, mountains, some sort of nature element. Good luck, and we will see you in Cape Town.
So excited.
Of the year when
It's true.
humidity and just
I know.
I
just watched mine and I already feel like it's disgusting.
By the
Yeah, I
way,
didn't
Spouse
think
is once again lurking in the chat for those who were here last time.
Hello, Spouse.
They shall lurk.
I fed
Now, please consider I will be sleeping and, you know, I will also be taking some time off and spending time with Spouse because I have the weekend off and it's not fair to him if I spend the whole thing reading. So we're going to take the next 48 hours for Face-Off weekend for Amazing Readathon, and we are going to read as much as I can. Now, I'm going to be reading a lot of short things, so the quantity of things I'm going to be reading is going to be high because it's going to be a lot of manga. I have some short audiobooks for when my eyes need a break and those kinds of things. I do have some novellas that I have that I can easily whip out as well. So keep that in mind. So this is not a how many big chunky books can I read in 48 hours? If you're interested in a video like that, let me know down below, and the next time I have a couple of days off in a row, we can try something like that. But I just want y'all to know that that's how this one's gonna work. It's a lot of short things. I do have some children's chapter books. If you haven't heard by now, I am in charge of the children's department in the bookstore that I work in. So I'm not as well versed in the popular chapter books of this time era. A lot of cool ones have come out since I was a kid. So I'm kind of, you know, reading a bunch of those just to kind of sample so I know what kind of kid to point towards them, things like that. And then I've got a bunch of manga and those novellas that I mentioned. So those are primarily what I'm going to be reading through this weekend. And again, it is Face-Off for Amazing Readathon. And that is a very fun readathon that you can join at any time if you're watching in the current month. So if you're interested in joining the Amazing Readathon because you keep hearing me talk about it, the announcement video is linked down below. If you're hopping in on our most recent leg, you just start from that leg and move forward. You don't have to read the back legs. So do know that. So if you're interested, you can definitely still join us. It's a fun time. It's a huge group of people and you're always welcome. So, and it's a genre-based reading team selection. So like Izzy and Heather, who you've seen on my channel quite a bit, are the hosts for Team Romance. So keep that kind of stuff in mind. With that said, I have a crate of manga next to me. There are 50 manga and manhwa titles in there. And then I've got my chapter books ready. I downloaded the audiobooks. I've got 4 different ones that I'm interested in this weekend. 3 of them are very short. The other one's a bit longer for when I need something to sink my teeth into. The other thing I'm hoping to do this weekend is actually work in my library because my library is a mess. That's why you don't see me filming in it lately. So I'm hoping to work on that to a point where I can actually start using it again. Because right now it's just a mess. I need to rework so much of it. I probably need to go through and do another unhaul sweep to see what I want to get rid of and what I want to actually keep and what I think I'll actually reread. So that's everything for now. And I will see you guys at 10 a.m. my time, so in a couple of hours when we actually start reading. I just wanted to make sure I got this intro up before I forgot to do an intro, because this is most likely going to be a fairly long vlog. And if I forget the intro, like, I don't really want to do it after the fact. So anyways, see you in a couple of hours. Hello friends. So Faceoff is well underway, and I have read 7 items for Faceoff, and it is currently 11:45 p.m. or a.m. where I am, and we started at 10. So I've read these 7 items in a little less than 2 hours. So first up, Ivy and Bean book 1. This one was cute enough. I don't think there was anything necessarily wrong with it, but you know, it's just a kid's contemporary, so it was pretty sweet. It didn't really offer me a lot of anything, so, you know, I think for a young girl, you know, 8 or 9, it's probably just right. Narwhal and Jelly, number 1, is the next one that I read. This was really cute and really fun. I might check out more of this during the weekend. I'm not 100% sure. I want to get a bunch of my manga read first. If I finish my crate, I'm going to go back to chapter books. That's what I've decided. But Narwhal and Jelly, super duper cute. Love it, love it, love it. Then I read Dragon Girls number 1. And again, that was really fun. It was a lot about, it had that magical girl anime element to it, and it just fed my soul. It was fantastic. Then I read Mercy Watson to the Rescue. This was a really cute one about a pig who's being treated like a child, and it was just fun. I had a great time. Then I read Dragon Masters Rise of the Earth Dragon. I really liked the themes that this one was bringing forward. Yes, it's a kid and it's dragons, but it also talks about how adults can be corrupt in a way that leads you to still trust adults at that age, but also leads you to be wary when something feels off. Owl Diaries, Eva's Treetop Festival. This is all about learning, like this first one especially is all about learning to ask for help, even if you may not like somebody. So that was really sweet. And then A to Z Mysteries, The Absent Author, was just a really fun Hardy Boys style chapter book, and I just had a great time with it. So with that said, I'm going to switch over and do some manga now for a little while, and I will see you guys once I've read another chunk of stuff. Alrighty, so it's now about 1:45-ish my time. So we are now at a good pausing point for me. Spouse wants to go run some errands together, and I'm going to change out of the sweater because it's like 100 degrees outside. But I wanted to quickly talk to you about what I've read. So since we last chatted, I read one of my short audios. It was Black Girl, You Are Atlas. It was a book of prose by Renee Watson about being a woman, being black culture. I think it was really well done. I really enjoyed it. Nice and short and sweet, and it was a good time. And then I caught up on a couple of manga series. So I read volumes 8 through 10 of Cherry Magic. It's such a cute series. I really like it. It's very realistic in how it's depicting a lot of things. Like they've been struggling to find an apartment. They struggled finding a place to get married because of prejudices about them being gay. So I think it's very well done in that way. Really love the series because it's not just sweet and fun. It starts off a little bonkers, but it really kind of like Sweat and Soap. It's like the gay version of Sweat and Soap. That's what I would call Cherry Magic. It's a little bit bonkers in the beginning, but it becomes really sweet and it's a really healthy relationship. You see them have a fight and things like that. So it's really good. It's a great series. If you haven't been reading it, you definitely should. And then I got around to reading volumes 12 and 13 of Blue Period. I believe more have come out since then, since 13 came out, but that's all I currently own. So that's what I got read. We are now in the second year of college for our main character. It's very different now. It's going to be very interesting moving forward because the teacher dynamics are very different in the second year. And I'm really interested to see where they're going to take it. But yes, really been enjoying my reads, having a great time. I know my reviews in this are super duper short, but this is all about maximizing the amount I'm reading. And because these are like deep in series, I don't have a ton to say about them anyway because spoilers. But yes, really, really love it. While we run errands, I'm probably just going to read some One Piece digitally because that's something I can read sitting in the car and it's not going to bug my eyes or anything like that. So that's probably what I'm going to do while we're out and about. But yeah, once I've read some more and all of my spins, I did all the easy spins first. And now I'm going to move into medium and hard to make those harder. And I'm just going to kind of cycle that way with as much as I can get read. And the fact that we're 13 items in at this point feels really, really good. So with that said, I'm okay to pause, go in the car, spend some time with spouse. That's the plan. See you later. All right, so back from errands, I read volumes 72 through 74 of One Piece while we were out. So I did my spins for that, and we are now at 16 things read, and we're at 3 p.m.-ish. So I'm going to go ahead and get my crate, find a couple quick things, and keep going. Hey friends, good morning. So we are now on the 15th. So this is day 2. We've been going about 22 hours. I did sleep. I did take some time off yesterday, but I still got 30 things read. So let's go ahead and talk about the other things that I've read since we last chatted. First up, I played some catch up on A Business Proposal, which he pulled the My Wife card in this one. So I'm here for it. I love the My Wife card. The second he is like, don't come near my wife or don't give my wife trouble, I'm like, yes, I love this energy. So I really love the way this is developing. I cannot wait to pick up more volumes. I think I've technically picked up more. I just don't have it near me or like easily accessible. So loving this, definitely going to continue. I love the energy here. I did go ahead and finally read X Gender Volume 2. This is about a non-binary human and their experience being that way, and this particular volume focused on COVID. So this was not my favorite volume in the series. I much preferred the first volume to the second one, but I don't know that it would stop me from continuing in the series. This particular volume was just not a favorite. Next, I read the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting Volume 4 finally, and I loved it so much. I really love the relationship this, like, Yakuza second-hand, like, right-hand man has with the boss's daughter. It's so sweet and so tender, and this is, like, his senpai and his child, and I love it. I love it so much. It's so good. I think there are more volumes out of this. I just haven't seen them in the wild, so I might have to specifically track those down because I really enjoy the series so much. Next on the list was The Dragon King's Imperial Wrath. I finished. So it's a 3-volume series, and I have to be honest, I feel like this one needed 1 or 2 more to make it feel like a finalized story. They summed up way too much right at the end, and I needed another volume or 2 to give the story a chance to breathe. It's still sweet and cute. I think I want to reread all 3 together before I make a final decision on whether this one will stay or go. But I have to be honest, I was a little disappointed in the end, which makes me lean towards getting rid of it because my collection is already so big. So yes, it's a short series, but if I'm disappointed by how it ended, then why would I keep it? So that's just kind of where I'm leaning with this one, despite it being cute and wonderful. I wish it were longer. And then the last thing I have to catch you up on is Insomniac's After School. So I read Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. I really love the way that this friendship / potential relationship is developing. They are so sweet. These are 2 kids who have struggle sleeping at night for various reasons. One is anxiety and one is trauma. And I really appreciate the way they're handling both in this series, and the way that they are like developing their friendship and relationship together is really sweet and really cute, and I really like it. I really like them a whole lot, and I would highly recommend checking out this series if you haven't. It should be available on the, I don't remember if it's Shonen Jump or Viz Media that this one's on, but it is a Viz title, so it should be available on one of those platforms. And I would highly recommend checking it out. It's really, really good. The art is absolutely fantastic as well. I mean, let's see. One of my favorite panels is in this particular one. Like right here. Like, that's just a tiny sample of the art here. I really love what's going on, and I would highly recommend. So with that said, that is 30 things in 22 hours while also taking breaks and sleeping. So I'm being reasonable about this, but again, these are all very short things. I'm not reading like big chunky books. So I'll be hosting sprints starting at about 10. Hubs and I are going to go pick up groceries and stuff here in a little bit before I start hosting sprints. So I think I'm going to try to get one more quick volume read before I do that. So anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and keep reading. Hello! We have officially entered leg 6 now, and I have actually finished my read for Team Sci-Fi. So I read The Archive Undying by Emma Mieko Candon. I wanted to make sure, like, I have it up on my screen over here so that I got the author name right. This is very queer, and I love it for it. And it's by a queer author, and this is definitely a dystopian, utopian kind of world, but we have sentient AI and they are trying to take over, we can say. And I'm not going to say much more than that because I went into this one fairly blind, and I'm so glad that I did, because I think if I'd known too much, I would have been like, oh, I don't think it's for me. But it's one of those things where once you're in it and enjoying it, it's really easy to get sucked into the story. I mean, Faceoff ended yesterday and my brain was so mush, but I kept wanting to listen. I finished it off this morning. It was really, really good. The audio narration was fantastic. So if you're an audiobook lover, I do recommend listening to this one on audio. I really enjoyed it that way. But overall, it's a solid 4-star. I really enjoyed it. Again, my brain was fairly mush, so I think this is one that could potentially bump up to at least a 5-star. But I need to re-listen to it when my brain is not mush. But knowing that my brain was so mushy and I still enjoyed it and understood enough, like, is a sign to the good writing here. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this vlog. Originally, Face Off Weekend was going to be in its own vlog, but I went ahead and included it here. All the results for that are up, so there aren't any spoilers or anything going on here. But yeah, so the vlog kind of fell apart at one point. So I just went ahead and included it here, and the rest of my vlog was fairly short. So it was a good place to put it. I'll get you guys something else this week. But if you are looking for a clue, I have one for you. So, in talking with Brianna this morning, so if you watched my TBR video, one of my predictions is coming up very soon. So keep that in mind, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.